This is Kelly from Brew Pursuit Junk Journals, and this is Sorting Saturday, and this was my stamp collection that I've now thought I might as well use this shelf, because here it is, to get some of the things that I have on my desk off of my desk. And really, this was my stamp station before. It's going to stay my stamp station. It's just much smaller. Like all of my woodblock stamps that just jam-packed both the upper and lower, almost all of them fit in here. Yeah, that's a huge difference. In this little basket. That's crazy. I don't even know. So that's a big change. I do have some blocks that I couldn't get it off, but I'm still probably going to try the microwave trick, which a number of people have suggested to me. It really didn't take that long to get these off of there, and the space is great. Let's see, what else did I put up here? So I ended up putting my nail polish collection up here. I've got it all random. Why are they not together? I don't know. I'll fix that, but then I have these stickles, and I realize I do have way too many of those. So I'll probably have to narrow those down, put them in the Destash bin. Some glitter embossing things, I think, and then just little pieces of things. These are brads. I put a couple of my big washi tape rolls up there. I've got these cool little mini apothecary jars, and then the filled apothecary jars with like Brad's eyelets and gems in them. I should really put a bin right here on the edge, because I'm always like grabbing things from this section over here, or even this section over here, and then I just set them here to be put away, you know, but I just stack them like in a heap, and that's not good. That's not working for me. So that's one thing that I worked on this week that I want to continue on today. Backup craft room space storage. That there isn't really a lot in here, but there's actually quite a bit of storage space up there that's open and available, and like empty bins and containers. This right here is my lace bucket. Yeah, that's my lace. It's really, after I started going through it, it looks like a lot of lace, but it's really like 4 giant tablecloths so there's not a lot of variety in there. I'm glad I didn't do any more of the shabby chic ones, because I felt like I was running out of variety. This is my invincible, that's what it's called, invincible metal cabinet, and look how deep that file cabinet is. I don't know if you can see how deep that goes. It's deep. And this, I've repurposed. It was genealogy, but a lot of my genealogy is just like heirloom mementos that we're filling this up. So I'm starting to use those things for junk journal. Namely, so I repurposed this for junk journaling supplies. Like this has become vintage retro, but I still have in here my ledger books. So there's still 4 in here that I haven't touched that were handed down in my family. These are a little bit trickier because they have actual genealogy data in them that I've been forever trying to figure out how I'm going to get it on the internet for people. I can't quite deal with those yet. But the rest of it I'm using for retro. So when I was doing my Destash, I forgot that I had this quilt for the strawberry shortcake thing and the 80s thing. But anyway, I decided to put all of my different categories in this file cabinet. And then I had to stop because vintage retro books and ephemera, and by ephemera I mean book pages and magazines and everything, filled up this entire, look how deep that drawer is, the entire file cabinet. Yes, it did. So I'm probably going to do a different, well, there is some fabric stuff in here. So there is some of that sort of thing, but not a lot. But the books, oh my gosh, that's a lot. So now I have a couple other categories. I gotta close these good. Don't leave them open. So I do have another one of these, but like I said, it's used for genealogy. This room is in a state of organization as well. I kind of trashed my house when I did that destash. This shelf is open for more book categories. So like all my art prints and my bird books I think are going to go there. My Victorian books, my history books. And that'll probably fill it up. If I can fit one more category in there, I will. I'm going to do a shabby chic bin where it's mostly like fabric and fabric that's cut up. Amy ended up cutting these up, and we figured out a method for her to just take one end on the arm of the recliner to the other end of the arm of the recliner and then trim it that way. So those got trimmed into strips. This is lace that's already divided up for like shabby chic fabric. This is another storage shelf. It's pretty heavy duty shelf too, so that's good. And there's hardly anything up there. I had fabric up there and now most of it I pulled down. I do have like the back of the door storage. This is pretty nice actually. Let me just show you. So like one of those floral slippers? Yeah, shoes. Anyway, lots of pockets for stuff. And then this one is two-sided. So there's fabric back here. We added a few more things to the shelf. I know, exciting, right? Some of these things I'm just gonna, oh, I shouldn't have put that there. Put these in a pile. I have like I did clean up my desk. See, it's better. I've got this. It's been sitting here for months. And I'm just gonna, wrapping paper, tissue paper. That's what I meant to say. There's a lot in there. Yeah. Should have destashed that. Still can. Maybe there'll be more. Oh wow, this is like a random picture. Yep, that drawer on the bottom for napkins. What's in here? Oh my gosh. It's a container of plastic bags. Where was this? I don't know. That's the second one I found though. Let's see what else we've got over here. Lots of little cards. More tissue paper. More napkins. In here, this is going to be my stamp container. So it's definitely going to take me a while to get all of my stuff organized into my new categories, but I'm going to do it. This is my stamps, so I want those eventually, those stamps to get divided up into these drawers. Oh, music box. That is cool. Is that like Victorian or retro? Here's what's cooking. Tell me what you think. Or could it just be both? Oh my gosh, look at this. Oop, not that. This little envelope. And I never dealt with this. It's a Scrabble game just sitting here, undealt with. Still, like, what am I gonna do with a Scrabble board? Make it into a cover. Yeah. Just crack that baby right in half and Scrabble cover. And of course, I'm sure I put it here because of all the letters, right? Because of all, did you see my feet? Oh my gosh. You saw me standing in Bella's bed. Okay, so this is what I have at the end there. Much better. I am definitely working on accumulating all my little like envelopes of cut up ephemera and getting them in there instead of floating around in miscellaneous piles. So that's my goal. And I got this cleaned off for the first time, and oh, I don't know when, and this is what it looks like. And try not to look to the right, try not to look to the left, and we'll all be fine. Okay. So this has been a very eye-opening process as I'm shifting some of my supplies into these theme categories. And I showed you before the retro, which was in one of these big file cabinets. This file cabinet has all my genealogy stuff in it, so I was able to get all of the genealogy stuff into just one of these giant invincible things. And like I said, a lot of it is actually you know, heirlooms and actual authentic pieces from my ancestors, so that's pretty cool. And some of which I can reuse for junk journals, but most of them I'm going to keep for my ancestor junk journals. So that's pretty cool that I get to use authentic stuff that they actually had in their hands, which is neat. But anyway, the eye-opening thing is that I really didn't realize still how much vintage retro, for instance, I had. And that first Destash round just really, you know, helped open my eyes to how much I have of just one category and how much time I spend looking for pieces to put in a journal when it could all be in one spot. So right here is going to be, and is already, a Victorian antique. Now, what do I have here? I'll show you, because this is, you know, it is kind of an interesting process. I've got this magnetic plastic sheet scrapbook album that I bought that I was going to convert into a junk journal because it's already lovely and beautiful. And just lots of cool illustrated books. I do have my Kate Greenaway here. I think they'll go with Victorian. It's actually Regency era, more like 1830s. But I can do a little crossover with that, and no problems with that, like Jane Austen era. So, but quilting books and needlepoint illustrations. I've got these 1915, 16-ish literary digest magazines. So I got a collection of those. So those are lovely. And down below, before I get into this bin of embellishments and ephemera, I have one poetry book, which I like putting in the Victorian, but I have about 5 of these books, which are pretty collectible, where they are Victorian. They've got the antique photo image on them. I'll just show them to you. You want to see them, don't you? They're all very pretty. This one, let's see, this one is first edition, $25. That might be tricky to do. We'll see. This one, sorry for the lighting. Obviously I'm not at my desk, but the lighting is perfect. That's a cool one. This one doesn't have a photo on the front, but it is very lovely. And let's see here. And you can kind of check out the authors too, and maybe you can find your own. But just luck finding these at thrift stores and so forth. So those are cool. Then in this big box here, guess what's in here? Yeah, it's my giant collection of velvet, which I rarely use. I have a tiny little collection next to my desk, and I just rarely grab it. There's some that aren't true velvet. It's more like this is like a velour, but this is real velvet. Look at that. Ooh, ooh. So as I get this in place, it makes it so much easier for me to determine how much I really have to put in Destash. And look at me. This would drive me crazy normally, and I just shoved it in there because I gotta, you know, sometimes you have to be fast more than whatever. So I decided to put these in here. These are my Civil War era fabrics. And I thought, I mean, I'm not going to have another category for like Civil War era. So those are going to go in here. And I know there's more. This is could be Victorian, could be, I'm probably getting a new category that I realize I need, which is French country. That would go in French country. But I may just be able to, you know, split it in half or whatever. Or just, sometimes it doesn't matter, I think, if you just pick one category because there's plenty. You know, for both categories, yeah. I'm putting in here like some stationery that looks Victorian to me. I'm sorry, I've got a little morning voice. This is a bunch of Victorian ephemera. And actually, I need to take that out. I've got this lovely lady here I've been saving. I do have a collection of African American painting arts and stuff, and the drawer is right over here, so I'm just gonna pop it in there. There we go. Got a little collection of that. And there's some Temu paper pads that are pretty Victorian. Yep, that ribbon hit the tea party. I've got my wallpaper samples in here because, I mean, those go really well with Victorian. And especially the ones from the 80s are very similar. There's like playing cards down there, more little books like these books. If you ever go to like the poetry, sentiment, like my mother, my sister, whatever, you'll find these books. And so, once in a while, they have like these cool illustrations of like Victorian images. So that's where I find those at the thrift store. And those are easily overlooked. And just other little ephemera in there. So it's growing. Like, I'll go through another box and be like, oh, I should put this in there. So pick up my ribbon that I just dropped and my paper scraps. So that's good. I'm feeling good about that. All right. Well, I think that's going to be it for this Sorting Saturday. And as always, thanks for coming along, and I'll talk to you later.